Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me in today's international conference on advanced social research in education, management and society, or known as ICTTBESR 2023. So for the next 10 minutes or so, I would like to present my research entitled English Language Learners' Challenges and Feasible Solutions Amidst COVID-19, a narrative review. So before I delve into the serious business of the research, let me just tell you a little bit about my educational background. Now, I obtained my Bachelor of Education in TESOL, Teaching of English as a Second Language in UN, from the University of Malaya in 1996. And then I also did my Master's and PhD in Educational Psychology, and I obtained my PhD in USM in 2015. So, in fact, I was awarded the USM Gold Medal for the 2014 to 2015 Best Student in the field of education. So that should tell you why I am interested in knowing about the challenges, in knowing about what happened, the kind of motivation or the kind of demotivation that students underwent and things like that. Okay, so let us now go straight to the research that I have done. And for that, let me just ask you to go back to the years 2020 until 2022, when we were experiencing COVID-19. So what are actually the impacts of COVID-19? Now, I'm so sure that you would remember, that we had to experience the temporary bans of routine activities like traveling and also outdoor gatherings, and how we were anxious because we could not go out anywhere but just to be in our houses. But this had to be done. This had to be done by all the governments all over the world because they need to reduce the spread of the virus. And I also understand that that all of us had to experience the lockdowns and the complete closure of educational facilities, compelling educators like us to swiftly change to online teaching and learning. But today, I'm not going to talk about the kind of stress that we as educators underwent, but I'm more interested in knowing about the kind of stress that our students, or the kinds of challenges that our students faced in or during COVID-19. So this shutdown, or this total shutdown of universities, has brought challenges and disparities in education. And certain learners found it difficult to get access to materials and tools over the net. And, so this actually escalated the already existing educational gaps. And because of that, we could also understand that the COVID-19 pandemic has had a profound effect on the students' motivation and mental health, since they are more stressed, more anxious, and also more socially isolated. So in today's research, or in today's presentation, I am going to find out more about the challenges that English language learners found during COVID-19. Could it be that the challenges lie in their communication and language issues because there was lack of in-person training? Could it be the inhibitions when communicating in English? Or could it be the challenges lie in the no connections with classmates and teachers? Or could it be more than this? So in today's presentation, or in this research, the objective is to understand the English language learners' challenges during the pandemic and the feasible solutions implemented to allow them to continue learning. So since they have these challenges, what could the university do? What could the lecturers do? And what could the students themselves do? So for this narrative review, okay, the methodology is, what is the methodology for a narrative review? So we have a search on Scopus and Google Scholar databases, two databases, from the 9th of March 2023 to the 8th of April 2023. And the keywords for the search were English language learners, challenges, coping strategies, and also COVID-19. And for this, we had to follow the PICO scheme. So what do PICO stand for? Now, P stands for population, or English language learners from any universities in all parts of the world. I stands for the intervention. So I here means the challenges faced by English language learners during COVID-19. C refers to the comparison, but in this research, no comparison was made, so that was not considered. And the last one, O, stands for outcome, or the feasible solutions. All right, so in our literature search strategy, we looked at the titles as well as the abstracts of journal articles, and then we screened for suitability. Now we read the abstracts, and if we found that they are suitable for the study, we would download the full text, and we would further analyze it. And in this study, okay, hold on, because I can't really see, it's a little small there. So for the literature search, altogether we found 699 articles with the keywords that we had typed. And from these articles, we had excluded 640 articles for not meeting the criteria. So in short, only 9 articles were included in the review after eliminating duplicates. And even with 9 articles, we were quite happy because the chosen articles were published in various countries, and these articles actually had provided us a diverse representation from different regions of the world. So the countries which were represented in the articles were Saudi Arabia, Thailand, United Arab Emirates, China, and then we also had articles from Morocco, Slovakia, Spain, and also the United States and Europe. So these articles actually, represented various populations from all over the world. All right, and in our findings, we found that the main findings and challenges that English language learners found during COVID-19 were plenty. And some very apparent ones would be the poor internet connectivity, the motivation and engagement, the time management, and many more. So let's go back to the poor internet connectivity. Now, what does it mean here? It means that online learning is hampered by technical issues such as inadequate internet access, website flaws, and also computer issues. And for this challenge to be overcome, there is a need, yeah, for the university as well as for the for the parents, yeah, to provide resources and support for technology and internet access, as well as the university themselves have to provide alternative methods of communication and coursework submission. For example, I remember during the pandemic in 2020, especially UITM, the university which I worked in, we actually posted a hard copy. We posted lessons in hard copies to students who were staying remotely, right? And so that is one of the measures that could be taken. And then if, let's say, they have motivation and engagement issue, so when they have this kind of problem, this can actually lead to students feeling disinterested, okay, and demotivated in participating in online classes. So for this, they need more guidance and assistance, yeah. So the lecturers should guide them or should assist them more, okay? And especially the lecturers should be able to provide clear instructions, frequent feedback, and chances for interaction and collaboration. For example, it's not just enough for the lecturers to have online lectures. We needed to have breakout sessions, breakout rooms with our students and all that. But all this, of course, takes time, yeah, for everyone to arm ourselves with that kind of knowledge. And then students also had issue in time management. So time management and commitment issues, yeah, actually resulted in poor attendance in online lectures and also missed deadlines. So there is a need again for the lecturers to provide clear deadlines and expectations. And besides that, it could also be that the lecturers should offer flexible scheduling options, provide guidance, and as well as resources for time management skills. Now, besides that, there are also problems about the learning environment, the assessment and feedback, and also time differences. Okay, now, coming back to learning environment, there is also a difficulty in finding a home study space that is both distraction-free and conducive learning. So what does this mean? Now, the students face this kind of difficulty. They could not find a space which they could call their own. And when they were when they were having this online learning, their siblings at the same time were having this online learning, so it's very noisy. So it's not conducive to learning. So in this case, perhaps, yeah, they themselves and the siblings could, they had to be supporting of each other, and they also had to be supporting, because what to do, yeah, while you're having online class, the other one is also having an online class. So they have to live with it, all right? And the assessment and also feedback. They also had trouble getting timely and constructive feedback on the academic work. Now, we could understand this because we ourselves as lecturers or as educators had also difficulty of our own, yeah, with the online learning. So sometimes it's very difficult for us to give timely and constructive feedback to our own students. So it is recommended that no matter what, lecturers need to be trained to effectively use online assessment tools and also provide clear instructions as well as feedback, okay? And then there's also an issue of time differences and scheduling conflicts. Okay, time zone differences make it harder for team members to coordinate and synchronize their work. Okay, now one explanation to this is, okay, a very explanation is, for example, if let's say the students were staying in Malaysia, but the lecturers were staying in New Zealand, so that's a time difference. Okay, so let's say the lecturers wanted to have a class at 8 o'clock in the morning. But in Malaysia, it's only 4 o'clock in the morning. So there's time difference. So there's conflict. So in this case, both lecturers and students need to come to a consensus to find the convenient times. And perhaps, the lecturers could record their lectures and the students watch these lectures asynchronously later on, right? Okay, now next one, we also find this kind of difficulties that the students found. Digital readiness and self-regulated learning, they are not prepared for this. There's also an issue of social isolation, which resulted them in not feeling motivated, as well as other distractions. They were into social media, into online games, and because of this, they did not find that going for online learning is a must or is interesting. Yeah, so that's not interesting. What is interesting is getting engaged in social media and things like that. So this is also the kind of problems that the students reported, having during pandemic. So all in all, we could summarize that the challenges of English language learners during pandemic were poor internet connectivity, social isolation, which led to lack of motivation and engagement. There was also time management challenge. They were also not having digital readiness and self-regulated learning. And besides that, they also were distracted and did not have conducive learning environment at home. They too feared failure because there were no clear guidelines and feedback, and also an issue of time differences and scheduling conflicts. So for the conclusions, we tried to segregate, not to say segregate, but we tried to form this into three kinds of suggestions. The first one is for the universities. What should the universities do? The second one is for the lecturers, and the third one is for the students themselves. So for the universities, what universities should do is for them to focus on ensuring stable internet connection. Yeah, and not just that, the IT support should be strong, and then they should also have updated software, and all this could actually enhance the ability of the learners to adapt to stressful situations. Okay, so when they have this kind of strong support, they could overcome their internal as well as external conflicts. And for the lecturers, what should the lecturers do to overcome this kind of challenges? Lecturers should also adjust to the new teaching methods due to the pandemic. Yeah, we had our challenges. Yeah, we had our own challenges, but no matter what, we too had to learn how to learn about new technology skills and also teaching strategies. Yeah, slowly but surely. And for the students, what should they do? Now, they have to remember, they could not just maybe blame others, for these challenges. They have to also be responsible for their own learning. Okay, yes, there are challenges of online learning, but whether we like it or not, we have to admit that the use of technology has allowed us for more flexibility and accessibility in teaching learning for both lecturers and also for learners. So no blame game anymore. Yes, all of us, okay, we can say have our own unique challenges, but how do we stay resilient and how do we try to overcome these challenges slowly? And I think because of the COVID-19 as well, we are able to have this kind of conference, this kind of, international conference. It's online, and it's very flexible. So I guess that's about it for my research on the challenges that English language learners had faced during the COVID-19 pandemic. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you so much for your time and your kind attention. So perhaps, maybe in next conference, we'll meet again. So with that, I thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.